So let's start where everything kind of breaks. Jocelyn. Yeah, Joss. I keep replaying that moment in my head, not even the action itself, but the build-up. Because people act like the failure is the important part. It's not. It's what she was willing to do before she got stopped. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Joss didn't hesitate enough. Like, yeah, sure, she didn't go through with it, but not because she suddenly found her morals again. No, she stopped because Lucas walked in. That's not the same thing. Not even close. And I hate saying that, but it matters. Because it means if Lucas hadn't shown up, if timing was just a little off, we wouldn't be talking about Joss failed. We'd be talking about Joss crossed a line she can never uncross. And that's the part that sticks with me. And Lucas didn't even know what he interrupted. That's the wild part. He just walks in like it's a normal day, probably thinking about patience, charts, whatever. And meanwhile, Joss is standing there on the edge of doing something irreversible. That's how fragile this whole situation is. It's not about good versus evil. It's about timing, accidents, people being in the wrong place at the right time or the right place at the wrong time. I don't even know anymore. And then when you zoom out a little, you start seeing a pattern that's honestly kind of creepy. Britt failed because Lulu showed up. Joss failed because Lucas showed up. So now I'm like, hold on, is this just bad luck? Or is the story trying to tell us something? Like maybe Cullum isn't supposed to die yet. Not like this. But then again, soap logic doesn't care about fate like that. If anything, it just delays the inevitable until it hits harder. And yeah, I think that's where we're heading. Because here's the thing nobody wants to say out loud. Just because two people failed doesn't mean the job's off the table. No fact. It just means the next person might not hesitate. So I start running through the list in my head, right? Like, okay, who's left? Who even makes sense at this point? And people keep bringing up Danny. I don't buy it. I'm sorry, but nah. That kid, he's not built for this. Not in this moment, not with what he knows, or more importantly, what he doesn't know. You can't expect someone to commit something that heavy when they're still confused about the basics. That's not bravery. That's not weakness. That's just reality. Danny ain't it. Rocco. Now, that's a little more complicated, but still, I'm not convinced. Yeah, he already shot Cullum. And yeah, that sounds like it should make him more likely to do it again, but nah, I don't think so. If anything, that first act probably messed him up more than anyone realizes. People think crossing a line makes you numb. Sometimes it does. But sometimes it makes you hyper aware. Like you can't breathe without thinking about what you did. And Rocco, he doesn't have a reason to go back there. No pressure, no direct threat pushing him forward. And without that, he's out too. So now we're left with Nathan. And man, this is where things get real uncomfortable for me. Because Nathan actually fits in a way that feels too clean, too logical, and that's what makes it dangerous. Let's not forget Nathan saw everything. He saw Rocco shoot Cullum. He knows the truth behind all of this chaos. He knows who's guilty, who's not, and he made a choice. He shows silence. And I get it. I do. People are going to say he was protecting Rocco, trying to prevent more damage, whatever. Yeah, okay. But let's not sugarcoat it. That silence, that's the first step. You don't just stay silent and walk away unchanged. That kind of decision rewires something in you. It shifts your moral compass just a little bit, and then a little more, until suddenly you're somewhere you never thought you'd be. And then Jason steps in. Classic Jason, right? Taking the blame, carrying the weight, playing the martyr like it's just another Tuesday. And look, I respect it, I do. But it also creates this weird, messed up situation where the truth becomes irrelevant because now the system has its answer. Jason did it, case closed. So what happens to Nathan in that scenario? Nothing, no consequences, no pressure to come clean, no reason to disrupt the narrative. So he stays quiet, and the longer he stays quiet, the easier it gets. That's how it works. Nobody just wakes up one day and decides to do something extreme. It's a process. A slow slide, and Nathan, he's already sliding. Now enter Sidwell, and this is where I kind of sit back and go, yeah, this is it. This is the trigger. Because that message Nathan's about to get, that's not casual. That's not, hey, check in when you can. Nah, that's business. That's orders. And if Sidwell finds out what Cullum really did, if he connects the dots about Marco, oh man, it's over. At that point, Cullum isn't just a patient anymore. He's a liability. And liabilities, they get removed. So now we've got Nathan, a cop, already compromised, already carrying secrets, being handed a mission that lines up perfectly with his situation. And that's what makes this so dangerous. Because he doesn't need to sneak in. He doesn't need a disguise. He just walks in, badge, authority, no questions asked. That hospital room, it's practically open to him. And this is where my brain starts going into overdrive, thinking about how it could happen. Not dramatic, not loud, but quiet. Too quiet? Like, imagine this. Cullum laying there, hooked up to machines, everything steady, controlled, predictable. And Nathan walks in. No music, no big moment, just normal. Maybe he checks the chart, maybe he glances around, makes sure no one's watching too closely, not in a suspicious way, just careful. And then he makes a choice. Now there's two ways I see this going. Option one, direct. He pulls the tube. Quick, final, undeniable, but also risky. Too obvious, too easy to trace if someone starts asking questions. So honestly, I don't think that's his move. Option two, and yeah, this one's darker. He messes with the machine. Something subtle. Something that looks like a malfunction, a glitch. Because those things happen, right? Especially in a busy hospital. And that's the scariest part. Because now it's not murder. It's an incident, a failure. Something that can be explained away. And I keep coming back to this one thought if Nathan does this. If he actually goes through with it. What does that make him? Because up until now, you could argue he's been reacting, making bad decisions under pressure, trying to control a situation that's already out of hand. But this would be different. This would be calculated, intentional. And once you cross that line, there's no going back. Not really. And I know some people are going to say, well, maybe he's doing it for justice, or maybe Cullum deserves it. And yeah, maybe he does. But that's not the point. The point is who Nathan becomes in the process. Because you don't get to play judge, jury, executioner, and then just go back to being a normal cop like nothing happened. That's not how it works. And honestly, that's kind of the lesson buried in all this chaos. Not some clean moral of the story, not some polished takeaway, just this messy, uncomfortable truth. People don't fall all at once. They drift. They justify. They tell themselves just this once, or it's necessary, or there's no other way, until suddenly there is no line left. Joss got stopped before she crossed it. Brett too. Danny and Rocco, they're not even there yet. But Nathan's standing right on the edge. And the worst part is, he might not even realize how far he's gone already. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it. Maybe the show throws a curveball and it's someone completely unexpected. But right now, if I had to bet, Nathan's the one walking into that room. And next time, there might not be a Lucas. No interruption, no second chance. Just silence. And a machine that suddenly stops working. Yeah, that's where I think this is heading. And honestly, that kind of scares me more than any dramatic twist they could pull.